Yeah, I just made my classic mistake of mixing up two stations. I went in for Ortaköy when actually I wanted Kabataş.
With a population of over 15 million, Istanbul can be a chaotic and confusing place for newcomers to navigate. But there's a secret to exploring this city like a local. Its extensive ferry network. These boats don't just get you from A to B, they offer the best views of Istanbul's countless landmarks while gliding across the Bosphorus, one of the world's busiest waterways. Today I'll show you how to confidently use Istanbul's ferries to explore both sides of the city. We're taking a route that connects some of Istanbul's most iconic spots, starting in Karaköy. We're starting in Karaköy, once the financial heart of the Ottoman Empire. This neighbourhood has transformed from a banking district into a hub for arts and culture. Just up the hill, you'll find the medieval Galata Tower. This is one of the older classic Istanbul ferries. They were brought back by popular demand when Istanbulers missed their nostalgic look.
So I'm today starting my journey at Karaköy because I've just come across from Kadıköy because I live on the Asian side. You'll probably be starting, if you're sort of staying in the old city area or around Galata, you'll be closest to here or to Eminönü, which is the station over on the other side of the Golden Horn, which is only about 5 minutes walk away. So it's a great walk across the bridge, pretty chaotic but some great views as well, so let's go and take a look.
We'll cross the historic Galata Bridge to Eminönü, ferry across to Üsküdar on the Asian side, then back to Kabataş where we'll walk past the magnificent Dolmabahçe Palace into Beşiktaş, before ending our journey in Karaköy. The Galata Bridge has connected Istanbul's historic peninsula with its more modern districts for centuries. These fishermen you see aren't just here for show. Their catch goes straight to the restaurants lining the bridge's lower level and the surrounding area.
This might be what you call the golden hour. Unfortunately, I'm pointing the camera in the wrong direction and it's just blinding. Oh. How many modes of transport can you get in one shot? So the ferries in Istanbul can be a little bit confusing because there's so many different little entrances and exits and little boxes and huts and places along the seafront where you could catch a ferry, and it can be quite disorienting and confusing to know which one's which when you first come to Istanbul. So I'm going to try and explain and kind of sort out how all that works, try and make it a bit easier for you to get on the right ferry. Wow, the bridge is absolutely full of people fishing today. It is absolutely all the way across, rammed. It's amazing. So one of the main attractions here at Eminönü is of course the old city, but the thing that's right directly behind it is the Yeni Cami, or the new mosque, which it's not that new, spoilers. So that's a great sight to come and see. You can also, it's like a few minutes walk into the old city.
If you want to know more about the old city, we've got a video on the channel that takes you around. We do a quick flash stop of many of the sites there. Check out the link in the description and up in the corner.
And up that way is the Golden Horn, so you can go up to Balat on the tram. Not this tram that's going behind me, but another tram that you can catch from the Eminönü tram station.
And yes, we've also got a video on that, my trip around Balat that was quite exhausting. Again, link in the description and up in the corner. Istanbul's ferry system might look complex, but it's run by three main companies. The yellow and blue signs of Şehir Hatları mark the city's official ferry service, operating since Ottoman times. Although not all ferry ports have good signage outside them, sometimes the signage is not there, like for example here in Karaköy. You'll also see two other companies, Turyol and Dentor. Don't worry about the differences so much, they all accept the same payment methods and cover different routes. Dentor and Turyol are former tour operators who have been granted licenses to run ferries across the Bosphorus. It might be worth mentioning that if you're interested in sightseeing more than getting from A to B, consider a Boğaz Turu, a dedicated Bosphorus tour. While slightly less flexible than regular ferries, these tours get you closer to waterfront landmarks and often include food and drinks, and you can find them where you see these signs. To ride the ferries, you'll need an Istanbul card. These rechargeable cards work across all public transport, from buses to metro to trams, and you can top them up at the machines right by the terminals. Simply approach the machine, put your Istanbul card on the place shown, select how much you want to top up, flash your card to the reader, and you're topped up.
Grader successfully loaded.
Each ferry terminal normally has LED displays showing you the next departures. To get in, just tap your Istanbul card on the turnstile like this. The screen will show you how much this journey is costing and how much credit is left on your card. Istanbul's ferry fleet is a mix of old and new. These modern vessels, with their lovely air conditioning in the summer, serve alongside restored classic ferries, brought back by popular demand when locals missed their historic charm. Some have buffets, others have drink services right to your seat. Here you can see what Istanbulers call the smaller ferries, which are run by Turyol and Dentur. These ferries share the Bosphorus with everything from car ferries to luxury yachts, supertankers and massive cruise liners, making this one of the world's busiest waterways. And speaking of busy waterways, let's get back to catching our ferry across to Üsküdar.
Time to join the bun fight.
Sayın yolcularımız, kesinlikle Üsküdar seferleri yapılmaktadır.
If you want a fantastic view of Galata and the surrounding area, of all of Sultanahmet in fact, you can catch this ferry and enjoy the amazing views and panoramas. You can freely move around the boat as you're travelling, so you can get the best view from the best angle. Or the best selfies, if you want.
So yeah, in general, ferries can be one of the calmest and most peaceful ways, apart from the chaotic getting on and off, which can be a bit of a bun fight. It can be one of the most calm ways to travel across Istanbul and actually orient yourself with the city. You can kind of catch your bearings because you can see all of the landmarks around you and, you know, give you a sense of where you are in the city and where the different little towns and parts of the city are. I can already see the hordes of people on the Üsküdar seafront. It's busy over there.
As the Üsküdar shore comes into view, we can see some of its iconic landmarks. Üsküdar, one of Istanbul's oldest districts, has been a crucial Asian gateway to the city for centuries. The waterfront here gives you some of the best views of historic Istanbul across the Bosphorus. If you are a bit peckish and you're looking for a snack, these buffets at the entrance to each port offer a wide variety of snacks and little burgers and hot dogs and drinks and all sorts of stuff at quite a reasonable price.
So, if you wanted to, when you get off here, you can actually take a walk down the road. I think it's probably about 20 or so minutes. I'll confirm in the details below, somewhere around here. But you can actually walk down to Kuzguncuk, which we did a video on before, which is a really beautiful little quaint town. Lots of little wooden houses and cute things, but we're going to stick around Üsküdar. Oh God! There's a red man.
The Mihrimah Sultan Mosque, designed by legendary architect Mimar Sinan, towers over Üsküdar's shoreline. It was built for Suleiman the Magnificent's favourite daughter. Sitting next to it is the fountain of Ahmet III. Originally built in 1728, it was restored in 2022.
If you're feeling a bit down, you could always go to the Happy Centre.
Don't get excited, it's just a food market. For now, let's head back down to the seafront and go for a walk up towards the Maiden's Tower. The waterfront is perfect for a morning, afternoon or evening stroll. Or you could just sit with a friend with a fishing rod and just watch the day go by. Right on the water's edge, the tiny Şemsi Ahmet Pasha Mosque is often called Istanbul's most charming mosque. Built in 1580 by Sinan, it's so close to the Bosphorus that waves sometimes splash into its courtyard. This is definitely something I wasn't expecting. Seeing a guy diving for something? I'm not sure what he was looking for, but I hope he found it. And like that, he was off.
Oh, pardon. Görmedim.
Yeah, take care not to accidentally walk into fishermen's lines, or even to get hit by a fish that someone's reeling in. This radar tower can be a handy sort of site for you to orient yourself when you're in Üsküdar. You can see it from most parts of the city. An evening walk along the Üsküdar seafront gets you some amazing views of the city, especially if you catch it close to sunset. The Maiden's Tower stands alone in the Bosphorus, looking like something from a fairy tale. While its current form dates from the 18th century, a tower has stood on this tiny island for nearly 2,500 years, guiding ships through the strait.
Right, that's it from me for today, but I will be back with you tomorrow because I'm losing the light now. So I'll be back with you in 5 seconds. See? I didn't leave you long, did I? Told you I'd be quick. So, we're back on Üsküdar, back in the afternoon again. Let's go and have a look at the Yeni Mosque, which again is probably not that new. So, yeah, let's have a look.
Now, when I said Yeni Mosque, I actually meant Yeni Valide Mosque. Built in 1710, it was built by Sultan Ahmet III in honour of his mother. The mosque is a great example of the classical Ottoman period, or the Sinan school of the Ottoman religious architecture. And as I was filming outside the grounds of the mosque, I saw a guy that was feeding meat to cats, except it kept getting stolen by seagulls. These things are massive.
That's a big goal.
Well, that was a quick stop, now back down to the seafront.
Right, let's go and find out how we get the ferry from Üsküdar to Kabataş and find out where it is.
So, this is where we arrived at Üsküdar, and now time to head back over to the European side. As you walk further along, you'll see different ports for different routes. Remember, we're aiming for Kabataş. Now take a look at the signage here. Can you see Kabataş? No. I see Karaköy and Ortaköy. I'm about to discover this. It was while I was waiting for the ferry in here that I suddenly thought about where I actually wanted to go. And that's not Ortaköy, is it?
Yeah, I just made my classic mistake of mixing up two stations. I went in for Ortaköy when actually I wanted Kabataş. I don't know why I get those two confused, but I do. I suppose better go and find a Kabataş one then. I've been here 8 years and I still get confused, so...
Walk along a little bit further and you'll find the cabin for Dentur. You don't need to buy a ticket here, this is for the tours, this little cabin. But if you walk a tiny bit further on, you'll see all these little shades.
Aha! I think I found it.
And just check the sign until you find Kabataş. Yes, Kabataş, not Ortaköy.
Wow, this really feels a bit more old school here, not so many safety rails. But it's time to get on. Kolay gelsin. There's the boat I nearly got on, luckily, to the wrong pier. It's nice to know there is a ferry to Ortaköy though, but we're off here.
So it's time to say goodbye to Asia for now and head over to Europe.
Wow, that was seriously a cluster of ships going in several different directions there, and they were kind of all honking for dominance. Ooh, we're getting a bit rocky here. We just went across the wake of one of the other ferry's boats. Yeah, if you do get prone to seasickness, it's quite a flat day today here. It's very calm. And when they go across the wake of the boat in front, going across them, it's a little bit, but it's not too bad. Now, there's a good reason we're heading across to Kabataş, because what we're going to do is we're going to get off at Kabataş and then walk behind the palace, and we'll show you a few sights, because it's only about a 20-minute walk from Kabataş to Beşiktaş.
As of filming, much of the Kabataş port is under construction. I assume they're building much bigger facilities here.
A lot of this site seems to be still under construction or renovation.
Let's get out to the street where we enter the melee.
So another great option for transport here in Kabataş is it's the end of the tram line that heads down to, where would it go down? I think it goes all the way down to Eminönü possibly, and I think there's one just coming in now. I'm pretty sure this is the end of that tram line. Here it comes.
Yes, this is actually the T1 line, and it goes from Kabataş right the way down through Eminönü and into the old city.
So that's a great route for an alternative. If you come to this station, you need to go back, it's a bit late. That's quite a quick way to go back. What we're now going to do is we're going to head on to Beşiktaş, because it's only 20 minutes walk and you get to go past some great sights.
Great sights like this gas station, yes. But if you look what's in the background, this is all the cruise ships that are used for things like parties and weddings. Most expensive thing I've seen parked up at a gas station.
Ooh, let's head in this way. Oh, away from the road, lovely. Can we stay there? Can we? No, it's just... Oh no, I think there is a route out. Let's do it. And down onto the seafront. That's better.
This little detour gives us a great view of the Bosphorus. And and winds around to our next site.
Okay, that was a picturesque but very quick little deviation there. We did avoid exhaust fumes for a minute though, so it was nice. And yeah, there's some really cool little views around here. And then we approach
The Dolmabahçe Mosque. With its Baroque style, it reflects the Ottoman Empire's 19th century European influences, with its twin minarets that echo the grandeur of the nearby palace.
And on your left, as you're walking up here, you can see, I don't want to get this wrong now. This is Beşiktaş's stadium. Yeah, it's in Beşiktaş. It's got to be Beşiktaş's stadium. It's definitely Beşiktaş's stadium. It's just so bad if you get it wrong, really. Yes, I can see the black and white flags. It's Beşiktaş. We're safe. We're safe. Ish.
And just opposite is the Dolmabahçe Palace entrance.
Look at these lovely little gardens here. I'm surprised they're alive with all the exhaust fumes going on next to them. Right, I think this is actually the entrance to Dolmabahçe, and I don't actually want to go in today. We're just going to go around it, but it is here.
This is the Dolmabahçe Clock Tower, a fine example of Ottoman architecture.
Right, we don't have time to actually go in there today, but that's where the entrance is, and the ticket office if you want to go in that way. I believe you can get in through that entrance there. That's just a security checkpoint, because the ticket office was further inside, so I think you can walk around outside the building in the grounds. So that might be worth a stop if you've got some time. Well, definitely worth a stop. We're going to continue back around it though. I'm being silhouetted by the sun again. Yes, I think that's the ticket office in there. You can see people queuing up. That's on the inside. Another option for travel around here is also the hop-on, hop-off tours, of course. I'm just not a big fan of sitting in Istanbul traffic, and I don't think I'd choose to do it whilst I'm on holiday if I can avoid it, which is why I tend to go for the metros and the ferries and other modes of transport. They've lopped all the trees off that were here. I suppose it has to be done every few years. And up here is, of course, the amazing gate to Dolmabahçe, which you've got to check out from the outside. It's amazing.
The Dolmabahçe Palace, built in the 1850s, was the Ottoman Empire's bid to rival European palaces. Its 285 rooms and crystal staircase showcase the empire's wealth, and ultimately, its extravagance.
So before long, we start to get into the city of Beşiktaş, or the town of Beşiktaş, I suppose you'd call it. Beşiktaş is a really thriving part of town, very youthful, kind of energetic. And they also support Beşiktaş, of course, so you'll see the banners everywhere. The football club, that is, if you're not sure. Soccer club for Americans. Also, if you're interested, there's a nautical museum. No, don't go. Wake up. It's fine. We're not going in. It's okay.
Beşiktaş blends history with modern Istanbul life. From its famous fish market to its passionate football culture, the neighbourhood pulses with energy. This is Bosphorus Square, named after the famous Ottoman admiral Barbaros Hayreddin Pasha. This square has been Beşiktaş's beating heart for centuries.
So this will be the place we'll come back to in a bit to catch our next ferry onto Kadıköy. But for now, I think we should probably head up into the town a little bit and go and see what's there to offer. To see what's there to offer. What's on offer. That's English, right? This building up here is actually a ferry station, I think. Kütüphanesi. I can't remember what it is. Voiceover Jim will tell you though.
Kütüphanesi, a library. Basically, it's a bookshop and a cafe that's built into this little station.
Right, so now we've established where the ferries actually come into at Beşiktaş. You can now head over in this direction and we can go to a place which I quite like, which is the eagle statue. Generally here you can follow the crowd if there is one, there usually is. Just go where the most people are going, unless it's a football match and they're in football shirts. Don't follow them. Might not end so well, might be a fun night, you never know. But we're heading over to these traffic lights here with the mosque in the background there. We're going to head up in that direction. Oh, can we do 2 crossings in one, green man? We can do it, we can do it. Jesus Christ. Look for the gap, people, look for the gap. We can do it. Hold. So as I say, just generally follow where other people go and you'll get to the busiest parts of Beşiktaş, which are the most exciting parts. Sorry, I'm just trying to negotiate human bodies hurtling at me.
Beşiktaş is an amazing place for food. You can see some little flatbread böreğs here, and maybe some chestnuts. The town is always teeming with life. And it almost always feels busy and lively.
Now make sure you've got phone charge and stuff, because it's very easy to get lost in Beşiktaş. And it doesn't have such great transport contacts with the rest of Istanbul. It's hilly as hell outside as soon as you get outside of this. So your options are kind of buses, taxis, and I believe there is a night ferry that goes from here to Karaköy and down to Kadıköy. So Beşiktaş is a great place for evenings and nights out. It's got loads of nightlife, loads of pubs, little clubs, and loads of restaurants and street food and things like that.
Beşiktaş's fish market looks amazing and is often open till quite late at night.
And I think what I'm looking for is approaching the eagle statue, which is what I was heading for.
The eagle statue, created by Ahmet Güçüyen, represents Beşiktaş's famous football club symbol. It became a popular meeting point and photo spot for both locals and visitors. You can use it as kind of a central point to sort of pivot around as you go around Beşiktaş looking through the shops and cafes. The streets are full of little cafes and lively little pubs that you can go and just sit and have a coffee or a beer and just watch the world go by. And there's countless restaurants and food options for you to choose from. But I think it's time for us to head back to the port.
But we're only doing a flash stop tour here, so quick look around, We're getting on our next boat to from Beşiktaş to Kadıköy. Right. I can see a boat coming in. I've got my coffee, so I don't think we're catching that one. I think we need a little breather for a minute, and then we'll get on the next one. Please don't kill us, please don't kill us, please don't kill us, please don't kill us.
Again, you can use the majority of the crowd to sort of guide you in the right direction down to Beşiktaş port. This time we're going to be taking a dentur boat down to Karaköy. You can find the little stall here. It feels a little bit dodgy standing on the front of the water here with so many people behind you. There's not so many safety features. And of course the cats don't have to obey the rules, they can just go wherever they want. I think this is our boat coming in now from Karaköy. So now we're heading back over to Asia from the European side, from Beşiktaş over to Kadıköy. If you time it right, you can often catch the sunset setting behind the city as you cross, giving you an amazing view. If you have some cash on hand, there's sometimes a drink service that goes round. And so it's goodbye to Beşiktaş and goodbye to Europe. If you look to the left of the boat, you'll see Üsküdar that we visited earlier.
So now we're on our way back to Karaköy, and we're heading up past the Maiden's Tower. So you get a really good view of that on the way back to Karaköy. And over to my right, which you won't be able to see very well with this camera, but you get an amazing sunset behind the old city.
If you actually want to visit the Maiden's Tower, there are tour boats and ferries that go directly to it. No matter how many times I see it, the Istanbul skyline never fails to amaze me. And you get to see the sunset behind Hagia Sophia and Sultanahmet.
So we're now entering Karaköy, and we've just gone past the port of Haydarpaşa, which is quite a heavy, busy industrial port. And then we're just coming into sort of like the bay of Karaköy itself. So this is Haydarpaşa train station, the old train station. It's not functioning anymore. It's been renovated for years now, and it looks like they're almost finished on it. Behind it there, you can see up to Üsküdar, the giant telecoms tower, which I will go to one day, I still haven't. And the rest of Karaköy, and my home in the distance.
Back across the Bosphorus, Karaköy represents modern Istanbul at its best. Once a quiet fishing village, it's now one of the city's hippest districts. The bustling streets around the historic fish market are packed with some of Istanbul's best restaurants, while the back streets of Moda offer peaceful tea gardens and views across the Sea of Marmara.
So, welcome to...
yolcu olan gemi 17.55 lira Karaköy.
Thank you.
İskelede yolcu olan gemi 6 hareketli direkt Beşiktaş.
Finished? I think he's finished. So welcome to Karaköy. We're here, and yeah, there's so many things to do in Karaköy. There are old parts, new parts, there's shopping, there's loads of food and eateries and things like that. A really beautiful place. But it's getting a little bit late here and I'm losing the light. So what's going to happen is coming out soon-ish. It should be a video myself and my friend Honor did touring around Karaköy completely, showing you everything there is to see here. And that should be coming out in a couple of weeks, hopefully. I'll put the link in the corners and in the description when it's ready. And yeah, until next time, I hope you've got a grip on how boats work, how ferries work on the Bosphorus. And yeah, I'll see you next time.